Let's go. What's up, man?
Good. What's going on, bro? Nice shirt.
Yeah, well, I was gonna get into that in a second, but yeah, dude, I got to this point where I'm like, I really got to start building out the content on my site and stuff, and I'm just like, man, it's just be great to hop on, get a chance to talk to you and whoever wants to. You guys get featured and I get to get some content out and everybody wins, so just wanted to chat with.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, hey, dude, look at this. Sal. I'm
So
digging it, man. Like I feel like a medium would definitely be too small, but this is maybe just a touch big, but hey, man, that means I could
it's
just go
just
get a pump with it and then it'll be perfect, right? So
that's the pump cover, man. So you got to just put a tank top on underneath it, and then once you get the pump, you take it off.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Dude, it's sick. Here, I could show it. Look at this. Look at Sal, man.
Yeah, that's funny how that all stemmed too from that conversation from Dennis. Like he
Yeah.
just planted like a great seed for me, and
Oh
then
yeah, I
it,
was there.
yeah, it worked out amazingly. So I'm just like, honestly, the idea is he doesn't miss, man. Like, because since I've done it, like that's when I got reached out by the magazine. They did the article on me. And like now I just feel like it's such good branding. People are always telling me, oh, you're the guy on the van, or I see your vans all over the place. Like, because what happens when you have like a brand that stands out? Everybody recognizes you. If your truck's parked in the Home Depot parking lot, it's like a billboard right there. Everyone that's driving by, like I'm telling you, you see like the whole parking lot full of like these bland vans, and then you just see boom, the blue van, and it's like, what the hell's going on over there? My kids think I'm a superhero now. It's hilarious.
Hey man. Well, you're a plumbing superhero. You are.
I
You
try to
know.
be for the customers, man,
Yeah. No, dude, it's awesome. I think that the idea, I was sitting there when Dennis first had it and he was, pitching it to you and you were so receptive to it. And it was cool just seeing that and then watching it come to life over the next few months after that. And now it's like it's better, I think, than maybe any of us envisioned in that moment because now it's like dude, you had the red and white, and you guys were fine. You had the wrench, and it was just it wasn't bad. It wasn't good though, you know. Now it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're killing it. Like I would, I'm sure we would struggle to find better plumbing branding pretty much anywhere. So it looks amazing. I'm pumped to wear it, just like around or whatever. I was wearing it one day and I saw like my parents or something and they're like, "What is that?" Like, "Oh, plumbing pros." And I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. Like that's one of my, the guys that I work with that I love working with." And so it's been really cool, man. So I'm happy that you went this route. It was a big thing getting your vans rewrapped and all that. So, dude, I think it's gonna pay off, totally pay for itself in the long term, like a
I think
bunch.
it has. I
Yeah.
think it has already, man,
Have
because
it
it
really?
just makes it more recognizable. Like I was kind of like a little bit resistant, and I was gonna kind of half-ass it in a sense by only trying to do minor adjustments, and then kind of I
Yeah.
was talking with Andy, the guy so I had a business coach, Mike, through House Call Pro Conquer.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, this isn't my area of expertise. Like with my electrical company, I never really took branding seriously. But he goes, I got a guy, Andy, who builds HVAC companies like all over the US, and he's done some really cool branding work and even gotten contracted to design brands for people. So I paired up with him, and then we started doing business coaching, and that created a huge relationship. But we did probably a good 20, 30 sessions where we would just tweak. The wrench is a little big. Oh, let's angle that like this. Oh, and then he'd hit me with ideas like, let's put stars in the background. So in the van, you see like faded sunburst stars and stuff. And then like it got to a point where I remember the session where he was just like, dude, we got it. He's like, we got it. And I gave it to the rap guy, Bay Image, and he was kind of blown away. He said that he actually back in the day almost had a partnership with Dan Antonelli where he was going to start rapping his van. So it was like the universe just brought in the rapping guy who actually worked with Dan Antonelli. He totally understood the kick charge concept, and he put his little fine-tuned it and tone this up and tone that up. And then I think we did like three revisions on that. And the third one, I was just like, dude, that looks awesome. This looks better than I ever even imagined. And that's just
Yeah.
something like I don't have the artist mindset, but in that process, as a business owner, I really began to learn branding and what works and what doesn't work. And so that gives me the ability, like in the future business endeavors, I could always build really cool branding. And my whole thing is, why wait until you're doing a couple $1 million? Why not just start off with an amazing brand and make yourself stick out? So I love it, man. I'm excited about it. And then like even like with the book and everything, like I just feel like
Mhm.
it's creating the whole package all in one, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Dennis talks about it on his marketing mechanic videos, the entity graph, tying everything together. That's SEO, man. Like a lot of people sit there and talk about like, oh, do you do SEO? It's like, well, I mean, technically every digital marketer should do SEO because it's how you tie everything together and how everything works off of each other. So, yeah, I mean, and branding is just one of those legs of that. So, I think
Yeah.
it's amazing, man. You guys definitely crushed it. You were super patient with it, which was awesome. And we got it here now, and now we're just, benefiting from the fruits of our labor. Your website looks better now. It's everything looks better online. And it's like almost like you took your foundation or your baseline for your company and the way you're presenting yourself. And with the branding, you just instantly made everything better. It's like the foundation for
Yeah.
everything is better. So
Exactly. The
yeah,
product was already good, and then now we just made it visually look good as well. So it
yeah,
draws people's attention in and everything. But for the HVAC, like the thing I'm really excited
yeah.
about with bringing it in is that one, they have super high ticket jobs, right? So
Mhm,
it's an industry that has huge service plans where you have
mhm,
reoccurring revenue and you have customers locked into service plans. And that's where you come in and the thing I want to do with HVAC to separate me from just your regular run-of-the-mill HVAC company, I'm going to develop like a detailed checklist of the HVAC system to check things like, making sure everything's charged properly, the temperatures are done properly, the coolant, static pressure, making sure indoor air quality is good because as people become more knowledgeable about their health, what are the two things that you're consuming on the daily basis? Like with the plumbing side, it's your water. It's the water you're washing your hands with, you're showering in, and the water you're drinking, cooking your pasta and rice in. So that's what we did on the plumbing side is the water purification. That was a huge add-on. So with the air conditioning side and just HVAC side, we're going to get into sterilizing your air and learning about the bacterias that are caused by a system that's not being treated properly and how to actually test the air quality, the indoor air quality for parts per million. And then now they make these UV lights and stuff that sterilize the coils and they sterilize the air that's coming in your home. So people who have young kids or asthma or allergies were able to treat all those sides of things. And I mean, you start to realize, like, as you learn about this stuff, you're like, wait, I need to put one of these systems in my home because if you're somebody that values your health, and then the other thing is just working with good quality companies like Bosch, like people who make high-end HVAC equipment that's going to last a long time for the customer and a product you could stand behind. Like if I want to be a premium plumber or a premium HVAC contractor, you're only as good as the products you install. And that's where you choose American-made products. They might cost a little bit more, but on the return side, you get less callbacks, less warranty claims because you're putting something that you would put in your own mother's home or your own home that you know is like, okay, this is made good. This is going to last me the next 10, 15 years without any issues. And then, where we come in and service them, it's like an oil change on your car where you're changing the filters, you're cleaning out the condensate drain lines, and you're just making sure the system's running like a top and running efficiently so that they could save on their energy bills, and ultimately just making sure customers are comfort in their home. They're comfortable in their home. They're not getting too hot, they're not getting too cold, and with the new technology that's coming out on these HVAC systems. So I took a Bosch training course already, and they're changing the parts from being mechanical parts to being electrical components that modulate as they go. So rather, the old school systems, how they would work is you would just turn on your air conditioning, you'd set it to 71 degrees. When it hits 72, it kicks off. And then when it goes down to 68, or heating or air conditioning, it kicks on. So they work within a range. But these new systems, they have solenoid valves in them that allow you to maintain that perfect temperature in your home. So you're never like, oh, I'm chilly, then the heat kicks on, or oh, I'm hot, then the air conditioning kicks on. It's a system that's just high efficiency and it allows it to run and keep you comfortable throughout the day. So I'm like super excited. My goal is to become like I have the
So,
master HVAC license right now, and like the way I am with plumbing, where I know I'm knowledgeable on the ins and outs of it. I want to be like a superhero HVAC guy, and we want to keep that reputation on the HVAC division as well, where we could just become eventually a total home service company for our customers where we can meet their plumbing, HVAC, and electrical demands for them. And just, you got to realize you have a huge customer base of a couple thousand customers that's growing daily. On top of that, they all need HVAC, they all need electrical. You would be crazy not to start to provide those services for your customers because think about it, we're already investing in marketing. We already have the reputation, the good reviews. So you're already there. All you have to do is offer them an additional service, and they're so blown away with the previous services you've done for them. Now they're just going to start using you for their additional services. So I just hired an HVAC guy, and my assistant manager, Sam, he's one of my great employees that I just promoted to assistant manager. And kind of his main job is to go deal with the customer complaints, making sure that the regular technicians are doing their work properly and just holding the plumbing pro standards for everyone where we're putting drop cloths in your home, we're putting booties on our feet. My guy's got all natural dog treats for your dogs at your home. And like
that's awesome.
we always say, like, welcome to the Plumbing Pros family because we want you to feel like excited that, hey, you developed that relationship with Sam and you're excited for him to come out for your service. You get to talk to him and just have that nice old school relationship. And that's something Dennis talks about where
Yeah.
all the internet is doing is just furthering your outreach. It's the same thing as if you referred somebody to your cousin or your neighbor or whatever. It's just now instead of a couple people in your network, the internet's projecting that and allowing thousands of people to see that. And they get to see real reviews on Google where they came out immediately, they gave fair pricing, they gave us a premium product, and we're just blown away with the service that was provided. So I feel like we have the recipe down pat and we could
Mhm.
realistically apply that to anything in the home service industry. And that's what's going to take us to the next level. And obviously, we can't do it without amazing marketing. We need to have like the marketing team that's locked in and knowledgeable and staying on the forefront of AI. Because with AI, you guys are able to get so much done so much quicker. And that allows us to just expand and grow the company at a rapid rate. So I feel like it's like a whole team, like a network you're building.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I mean, I've had the pleasure of getting to work with you since like before I even knew I was going to be doing something specific in HVAC. So it's been really cool just like getting to know you like man to man and just, enjoy just talking about where your ambitions are and just understanding you as a person. Because at the end of the day, for me, and I know for me with HVAC growth and pretty much all the clients I work with, I just love to work with people that just want to win and see that I care and care as well and like have that kind of it feels like we're in this partnership, like we're working on this together, like it's a big team thing, you know? And
Yeah.
You've always made me feel like that. And that's why I'm super excited for you to get into HVAC because then I get to work with you even more. So it's going to be a great time. And my guy, Joe, you met Joe, Joseph Davis from Brothers HVAC in Texas. He said that maybe one day he wants to add plumbing to his thing. So you guys might have like a nice little win-win relationship there as well. So that might be one to keep watering. So yeah, no, dude, but like you guys are both doing it the same way is family oriented first, doing great work and just showing people that you care. And that's what makes it so easy for me because that's what I always drive my work from is just caring. So yeah. If that's what comes first, I think good things always follow. So
It
yeah,
makes
man.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The networking with other people in
Hmm.
the industry, and maybe I could assist him with expanding his plumbing, and he can give me some great ideas for the HVAC and help me with that. I feel
Hmm.
like those relationships where people are just looking out for each other and generally just want to see people succeed in the end, that you can't beat that. And with that's like with Dennis and you, even like you guys go above and beyond to make sure that our concerns are met, explaining it to us in layman's terms so that we understand why you're doing what you're doing, because in the marketing world there's a lot of like acronyms and phrases, and like us as blue collar workers, we're like, what the heck does that, what does this mean, what does that mean? And then you'll take the time out to actually explain it to me and educate me on it. And I'm interested, like I want to grow as a business owner. Like I want to understand the tools that I'm able to tap into and use, and the benefits of every tool that we have access to. And I know, like, even still we have so much more we could do. And like one of the goals that you've given me recently is to get 8 amazing customer testimonials where we came in, fixed their problems. You even gave me a script on it so I could feel more comfortable taking these videos. And then we're setting up the Facebook marketing ads, and we're putting them on our Google page. And I want to start doing podcasts on YouTube. And I just listen, there's the way I look at it, a business is a living, breathing entity. And there's always more you could be doing. Like you can never sit there and say, I did everything. You're either growing or you're dying. And I'm just every day I want to get 1% better. So whether that's learning something new about HVAC, or getting a good video with a customer, or getting the next 5-star review, you're just moving towards the goalposts, man. And honestly, I don't think there's ever an end point. You can go as far with this stuff as you want. Like you see these guys like Tommy Mello and like these guys who built $100 million companies, and it just blows you out. You're like, because when you're first coming into business and going from a W-2 employee, and you're used to like, oh, $100,000 is a good salary. And then next thing
Mhm.
you know, you build $1 million business, then you're on your way to a couple million, and then your mind just starts to open up. You're like, we really haven't done much yet, man. We're still babies in this thing. Like there's so much more to learn and grow. And I feel like on the journey of me and you working together, we grow together, we learn as we go. And like before you know it, we'll look back 10 years from now and we'll be like, dude, I can't believe like I'm gonna see how big your marketing company is gonna get. And then
Mhm.
Dennis, obviously he's already the man, but we're so fortunate to have a guy like that in our corner to back us up and give us this life advice. He's got all the wisdom and experience, and you really need mentors like that in your life. And that's why even me in the plumbing or HVAC community, I go to guys who've already exited from their company for millions, because they understand a guy who's done $10 million knows something that the guy who does $1 million doesn't know. And you got to humble yourself, and you got to just accept that sometimes they know more than you, and you got to listen it. And the sooner you implement it and the more things you implement, the quicker your business is going to grow. So that's been my biggest lesson. The people who are further along than me, listen to them, execute on it, do it the right way, and ask for advice and just get the right people in your corner, you know?
Dude, 100%. Like I agree with everything you just said. Absolutely. Yeah. And dude, I'm super pumped like that you have that mindset and just being around people that have similar mindsets like that, it's just refreshing because not everybody does, man. Like. you know, but that's not the point. The point is that you do, and it's just awesome just getting to work with that every single day and just seeing how much that you've grown with plumbing pros since we've met, and then just like seeing like we're not slowing down anytime soon, dude. We're just projecting to do so many great things with you guys, and it's just gonna be awesome, man. So like you
Yeah.
said, like, you gotta get that book out, man. Like I want you to read it. I wanna, finalize that and just have you be a bestseller and have you get your, Google Knowledge Panel, do all that stuff. It's gonna be sick. So,
Yeah, that's going to be a huge accolade for me, getting the Google Knowledge Panel. And that's something where
mhm.
I can look back in life and see that I had a book. And I just envision my 5-year-old son, Sal, growing up someday and eventually possibly taking over Plumbing Pros, and him just looking back and being like, how did my dad do all this stuff? And like, just like leaving a legacy behind for future generations to just be blown away with. And one of the things my business coach Andy from McKnight put on to me recently
Mhm.
was that, dude, you're 30 right now. I just turned 31. He's like, you got a
Happy
good
birthday.
10-year run in you. You got a good 10-year run. Typically, guys will start to slow down when they're 40 years old, but that's not always the case. But there's something about just going from your 20s to your 30s. You're like a grown man. You're past that point. You're still a young grown man, but you have the energy of a young man still. And you're just like, you want to conquer the world, man. And I'm so pumped up. Like, at nighttime, I meditate on this stuff before I go to bed every night. I lay there with my eyes closed and I just envision what it would be like to be a $10 million company, and like how it's going to feel me showing up and me being the guy at the company where my employees, like, you're almost like the Colonel Sanders of KFC, where they're like, who is that guy? And then you're their boss. They respect you, they look up to you, and you got to
Mhm.
set that example and precedent for them of like showing them what it is to be like a plumbing pro, what it is to being an
Yeah.
HVAC pro, so that they can aspire. You hold them to a higher standard. And I'm just been thinking about it in terms like that. Like the next 10 years, I got to go all out. Foot gas fully pressed against the floor, doing anything I can do. And another thing I did with moving Sam up to assistant manager, I'm going to be moving Chris to GM role, where he's actually the general manager and he's very good with the computer and knowledgeable on this stuff. So two of the biggest things, three of the biggest things I'm going to have him working on is one, service plan members, because our goal is to get 1,000 people signed up for monthly subscription services. If you look at companies like Netflix, Amazon, the most successful companies, Fortune 500 companies, a lot of their business models are built off of subscription services. And that's something a lot of small time contractors, they don't think like that yet. But that's kind of the way of the future. The younger generation is a lot more comfortable paying $40 a month than coming out of the pocket with $1,000 in one shot. And a lot of
Yeah.
times these people will stay lifelong customers of yours because they'd rather just pay that small monthly fee. They don't have to feel it financially as a middle class customer. They're able to still have money for their groceries and gas with all the inflation that's going on. And then you're still able to just constantly not only install that unit, but make sure that unit lasts for a long time. So not when it gets cold out, they're turning their furnace on and they're not having that heat coming out of there. You already came out there and you prepared that unit. So them and their family are comfortable all winter long and all summer long with the air conditioning side of things. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I gotta proofread the book that we've been developing, and I'm gonna try to put some more of my version spin on things and make it more authentic because I really do want to be a bestseller. And I think it's important to take time and do due diligence on it and make sure everything's authentic. Almost like you kind of put it to me like this: you want it where the reader feels like they're listening to Sal talk about the book. And,
That-
they feel it from an authentic, genuine perspective. That's something huge, like that separates you guys from other marketing companies. It's like you guys are developing a book. Even my business coach said, oh, could I potentially contract them to develop a book or something like that? And I was like, he was kind of blown away that you guys were developing a book for me. And he was
Mhm.
like, dude, I can't believe that. Like, and it just shows like the level of detail and experience you guys have in the marketing industry that separates you from your regular Joe Schmo marketing guy who's collecting money from you, but not
Mhm.
giving you any results. Like, we're getting calls, the phones are ringing off the hook. And that my no, the normal reaction is like, oh, we're good. There's been points where I've reached out to Dennis, like, okay, relax with the marketing because I don't even have the manpower to handle these calls right now. But now that I've gained a little bit, I've become a little bit more seasoned as a business owner. There's times where my guys are all booked out for the day. I'm running out. I'm dealing with calls because listen,
So,
we have a reputation to uphold, and if we can't meet that standard for the customer, then we're gonna, you have to, your reputation is everything in business. When somebody calls and they see the 595-star reviews, you gotta back that up with top tier service and get to them immediately and resolve their problems. And that's where they'll never call another plumber or another HVAC company again. So I know we're starting these Facebook ads now. I have to go out in the field and get videos with customers, which is something that I'm a little uncomfortable doing. But it's like a muscle, man. Like you're a muscle guy, you're a gym guy. And like if your biceps are
yeah.
weak, we're gonna hit some curls. So I gotta
Yep.
hit my video curls. I gotta get out there talking to customers and get it where I feel comfortable so I can shoot natural, comfortable videos that are gonna be amazing for you guys to run ads on and market off of. And that's what's gonna separate us from everyone else. But yeah, just keep the marketing ideas coming. I love it. Every time we meet up, I get some new ideas and some new goals. And recently, with updating the site and adding the New Jersey licensing, and just something I'm going to be obtaining next is the Allentown Master Plumber's License. So we're spreading
Sweet.
our reach, and I want to keep developing what I already have. Like, we already have something that's good, but let's not settle there. Let's add this. Let's add this. So backflow prevention is something I'm going to get into next. And I just have so many ideas, but you're limited on so many minutes in the day. And then I ordered 450 copies of the magazine that I developed,
That's
where
awesome.
we're going to be handing this out to all our customers. It talks about me, my background story, our service plans are in here. It tells you about prevention in your home. So here's our service plans. And then there's the financing that we offer. So you can get 0% interest for 24 months. And then it
Per-
shows all the products we install and how much it would cost to finance it. It's like a 40 page magazine that we had made by a professional magazine company. And I got a pile of 450 of them over there. I plan on getting rid of these within the next 3 months. And that's going to just be something like when you go to the customer's home, not only are you selling them a product there on the spot, but I imagine like my mom when I was a kid around Christmas time, she would like look through the Macy's magazines on like what gifts she was going to get for my dad or what gifts
Mhm.
she was going to buy for us or new furniture for the home. So now you can have customers sitting around, on a weekend and looking at, hey, you know what? I want to update that water heater. That tankless water heater looks cool. Or I want to go with that new Kohler toilet or that Kohler bathtub. And because your home is your biggest investment, man. And,
Yeah.
a
For
lot of
sure.
people kind of look at it as a nuisance when they have to upgrade something in their home. But I always put it to customers like this, like you're increasing your property value. It's not like going to buy a $7 Starbucks coffee. You're actually increasing your property value. So if you ever sell this home, your value of your home is going to go up. And, it's some of the best money you could ever spend.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I mean, you live in it every day. And if you ever want to sell it, you've increased your value. And you're just the ultimate businessman. You're doing it with your companies and you're helping your customers, take care of their families and improve their property value. I mean, like, come on. You're like the guy, Easton, Pennsylvania, you're the guy, everybody should call Sal to make their life better. But yeah, no, I mean, and I like that I get to have like our small part in that. But like the main thing is always going to be the work that you guys do. And you guys do an amazing job, and then it makes our job easy because then we just take what you do and just show a few people by organizing it in the ways that we do. But yeah, I mean, It's
I mean,
just been it's just been
I
awesome,
wouldn't
dude.
I wouldn't say marketing is a small part. I would honestly say it's a key part
Yeah.
most businesses are missing out on. And by adding a great marketing team like you,
Mhm.
Luke, and Dennis behind you, that's the difference between having a $500,000 a year company and having a $5 million a year company. Because marketing is what's letting the customer call you. Like without leads, I could be the greatest plumber in the world, but if nobody's calling the phone, we don't have the ability to pay employees good rates so they can live comfortable lives. And we don't have the ability to show off our plumbing and HVAC skills to the customers. So marketing is one of the key pillars in business that you need to figure that out. And when I saw Roger Wakefield working with Dennis and I saw how intelligent Dennis was and what he was spoken on, I immediately went on Instagram and I messaged him and he jumped on a phone call with me immediately. And what
Mhm.
you're doing good, Luke, is you're carrying that legacy. Like Dennis is the busiest man in the world, but he's never too busy to start marketing for someone else. And that's
Yeah.
the same thing with you. You're jumping on calls. Anytime I have a question, you're jumping on with me the same day. And if there's something going on with the website, you're making sure it's fixed the same day. And it's like, I
So,
get excited, just like it makes me sleep good at night knowing that my marketing's handled by somebody who's actually putting my dollars to work. They're not just taking my money and running away in the night with it, but you guys are making sure that we're getting results and you're proving those results with it.
yeah, dude, I appreciate you saying all that. This right here, this video, like us talking about this right now is like another attempt at just me trying to continue to keep learning more about, the way Dennis does things and stuff like that. Because he is, he creates the ultimate blueprint for pretty much all of us to follow. And just, he creates an actionable plan that's just very simple. And if you want it bad enough, it's all right there, for us to figure out and follow in the footsteps. So yeah, dude, I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm super pumped. I appreciate you for just like hopping on and doing this today. I mean, dude, I just asked you to do this today. You did the same thing that you said that Dennis and I do. You did the same thing. So that's what it's about, man. I say like, yeah, the main thing is the fact that you do the great work, but yeah, you're right. Marketing, the amplification of it is huge. And I love that we're able to be that, partner for you guys. And yeah, dude, I'm just excited to keep it going over the next, months and beyond, and excited to see where Plumbing Pros is 10 years from now. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped up for the future. And then one of my core things as being a business owner and the people and the relationships I develop is I want when people think about me, I want them to be like, dude, Sal is a blessing for me. He helps me. And so I want to be that for you and Dennis.
Mm,
Anything I can do, talking, giving testimonials to potential clients and explaining my experience. You guys do a lot for me. You go above and beyond for me. And listen, it's the truth. So I get excited about this. Like, I want to help people. So by me referring you to another business owner, I know they're going to succeed. I can talk from real world experience that if they hire Luke and Dennis for their marketing, they're going to win. And
mm,
that's something that makes me feel good. Having people that I could recommend that actually do a good job, which that's a rare thing in 2026.
yeah. Exactly, man. And if I need anybody that needs plumbing done, you'd be the first person I'd recommend, as long as they're in your service area, which keeps expanding. So, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It goes both ways. And yeah, Sal, dude, I really appreciate it, hopping on. And I mean, I feel like we talked about a lot of great things today. I think that there's a lot of just things to pull from this, and I'm excited to get into it and do it for us. So,
Yeah, man, make some great clips out of this.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm pumped up. I want to see you grow. I just
yeah,
want to see everybody win, man. We're all on the same team and we all got each other's backs. And that's just something that's fun and exciting. And it's like business is just one of those things that I'm telling you, some nights I can't sleep. I'm just thinking about things and it's so fun, man. It's just something that just keeps me excited in life and
yeah.
really enjoy. I work a lot but it doesn't feel like work because it's something I truly enjoy and I have a passion about. So,
Well, there it is. That's the beauty in that. And yeah, you said that beautifully. So, Yeah, dude, I think we should leave it at that. And, I'll be in touch, dude. We're gonna keep crushing it with your site, your book, your Facebook ads when we get all those, or it's gonna be great, dude. It's gonna be great when you get those videos and it's easy, bro. Like you did it with me for right now for an hour. You do the same thing with a client and you've already the muscle's there, like it's there. It's just, you just gotta come in and be like, yo, I'm talking to Luke right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, seriously.
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. But all
Yeah.
right, Luke, man, I look forward to talking to you next time. Chris is coming back tomorrow,
Mm,
and I'm sure we'll be in touch with you about future marketing endeavors. And we're
sir.
just gonna keep the ball rolling. We're gonna have a great year this year, man. So thank you so much. All right, brother.
Yes, sir. Have a great rest of your day and an amazing week, brother. Talk to you later.
All right, take care.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.